All right, we are live, and let me just arrange the other settings for us. All right, everyone, we are going to let everyone in. Let me make sure. Marco. Remert. All right, if everyone can please make sure you're on mute. You are in the 187th District Court. These are the rules of the 187th District Court. You are in a courtroom. Anything that you could not do if you were in the courtroom, you cannot do on this Zoom screen. If you violate any of the rules of courtroom decorum, your Zoom privileges are going to be revoked and you'll be required to appear in person. That's going to require for people on bond for you to drive downtown. And trust me, I've just driven downtown and there is construction galore, and don't depend on your GPS as you're trying to navigate the issues with downtown. And once you drive downtown, when you make it, you're going to find parking is extremely expensive, or you're going to have to take an Uber or a Lyft. If you take the Via bus, they only take, they don't give you back any change. If you don't have exact change, then that bus ride is going to end up costing you $20 to $10. So don't do that. If you're at your home, there's to be no laying in bed. There's to be no cooking of food, no wearing of baseball caps. If you're with your employer, you need to let them know that you need to take your lunch break early. You need to find a place that's quiet, find a place that's stationary. To all the people who are defendants or accused and you're on bond, your screen must not go black. So your video must be shown at all times, except if you are signing paperwork. If your video goes dark, what's going to end up happening is your Zoom privileges are going to be revoked. If you're at the Bexar County Jail, you are not allowed to use the chat box. You are not allowed to use the internet. If you do any of those things, you're going to be sent back. And as you know, there are issues at the jail, and we'll probably see you in 60 to 90 days. I'm going to open up breakout rooms. When I do, it's going to invite everyone to a breakout room. I repeat, do not go to a breakout room unless I specifically call you by name and assign you to a breakout room. To all of those who are defendants or accused, your attorney's name will be called. Your name will not be called. If you do not hear your attorney's name, they're probably zooming in another courtroom, or they had to appear in person in another courtroom. Just be patient. They will get here, and we'll try to get them here as soon as possible. Attorneys, if you have a plea bargain agreement, no matter how small you think that plea bargain agreement is, you need to place that in the chat box of the court coordinator. She's listed on the screen as Ferguson coordinator. If your client is on bond, they will need your email address. Attorneys, I'm going to assign you to the breakout rooms. When I assign you to the breakout rooms, think of those as doctor's visits. When you go to the doctor and you're on time and they call you back and you think you're seeing the doctor right away, you're not. They're taking you to a smaller room to check your weight and blood pressure. Everyone, today is Wednesday. Let's keep it as a glorious Wednesday. Let's not try to turn it into a difficult Monday. Everyone put some patience in your pocket, take it out as needed, and share it. All right, this is the order in which attorneys will appear. Attorneys, if you see you're low on the list and you wish to Zoom to another courtroom, you're more than welcome to do so. However, if your name is called and you're not on the screen, you will be placed at the end of the list. Clarissa Pratt, Ed Camara, Sepulveda, Charles Bonk, Joel Perez, Christine McDonald, John Young, Melissa Christian, Raymond Martinez, Robert Featherston, Rose Sosa, Robert Maurer, David McLean, Laura Lefton, Michael Bellevue, Marco Baz, Judy Wimmert, Luis Martinez, Robert Featherston. I called him twice. Is there any other attorney who's here whose name has not been called? I believe there's Bustamante may be in the courtroom. Any other attorney whose name has not been called and you're on the Zoom screen? All right.
Hold on.
Your Honor, Edward Schroeder for Justin Somerset.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Schroeder. Mr. Schroeder, where do you practice mostly?
With San Antonio.
Okay. All right. Well, it's good meeting you. All right. So attorneys, it would help me make people move quicker in the breakout rooms if you would place by your name the name of your client and whether or not it's criminal trial division and family violence. All right, Mr. Bonk, just give me a moment. So Clarissa Pratt, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3. Thank you for changing your name. An attorney will meet you there.
Thank you, Judge.
Ed Camara. Ed Camara.
Yes, I'm here.
And you're on Muskis?
Richard Muskis, yeah.
All right, I'm going to send you to number 4. Thank you for changing your name.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Jesse Sepulveda, who do you have? You're on mute. Thank you for changing your name.
I was in the process of changing it. I'm sorry about that. I've got Jesse Alanis, criminal trial.
All right, I'll send you to number 5.
Thank you.
Charles Bonk and Joel Perez.
Yes, Your Honor, we have John Reyes.
Okay, and just give me a moment. I understand what the issue is. Let me assign people and I'll come back to that. Christine McDonald. Christine McDonald. All right, let me see.
Put the head for space bar.
Just 1 second. All right, Christine McDonald is in 6. John Young.
Yes, madam. I'm here on Brandon Richardson. It's a bond request on an MTR.
Is it criminal trial division or family violence?
Criminal trial.
All right, Robert Maurer, if you could change add to your name the name of your client. John Young, I'm going to send you to number 7.
7 it is.
Thank you.
A traditional lucky number.
Oh, yes. Melissa Christian, I recognize you with your pen.
Good morning, Judge. So I have 2 cases, Juan Hernandez and Mario Guerra. Both are family violence, and Mr. Guerra is a short hearing on access to a funeral he has to go to.
All right, so I'm going to send you to number 8.
Thank you.
Raymond Martinez, I'll send you to number 9. Robert Featherston.
Morning, Your Honor.
Morning, I'll send you to number 10. Thank
Number
you.
10, thank you.
Rose Sosa.
Good morning, Judge. I have family violence and CTD. He's on probation on a family violence case and has a pending unindicted CTD case.
All right, what is
Jesse
your
Garza.
client's
I'm
name?
sorry. Jesse Garza.
Okay.
He's an inmate.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 11.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Robert Maurer, I'll send you to number 12.
Judge, I don't think I need to. My client was accepted into PTD and we submitted the signed contract this morning.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, if you can check on that, please.
Thank you.
David McLean.
Good morning, Judge. I've got Jessica Lee Johnson, NTR, out of CTD.
All right, you're going to take 12. You would have been in lucky breakout room number 13, but Robert spoiled it for you.
That's my number too. Thanks, Rob. I don't remember that.
All right, Laura Lefton.
Hi, Judge. How are you this morning?
All right, I'm going to send you to lucky breakout room number 13.
Before I go there, this is a client that was accepted into the mental health court, and he should be officially put in the court, the program next week in the 379th.
I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1.
Okay.
And you can speak with the court coordinator about it. Robert Maurer, I'm going to send you to number 1. And Ms. Ferguson, I'll send you to 1. I'm sorry, Miss Melissa Christian, did I not assign you?
You assigned me to 8, but I never got an invitation to leave.
Oh, okay, let me make that happen.
Thank you.
Ma'am, you sent that invitation to me and I didn't think I was supposed to go.
You were not. Things are getting, okay, but it's still Wednesday. I'm going to send you to 13. That's a lucky breakout room, Michael.
You want me to go to 13?
Yes, I just sent you there. Marco Bass. All right, going once, going twice. Judy Wimmert. All right, Luis Martinez.
Morning, Judge.
Hi, thank you for changing your name. I'll send you to 14.
And Judge, I've been working with Marcus on this case.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Edward Schroeder, who do you have? You're on mute.
Somerset.
I'm sorry, who's your client?
Justin Somerset. He's in custody. Has been so since October. We'll be asking for a bail and to talk
Right,
to
is it criminal trial?
Yes, Your Honor. It's not family violence.
Okay, I'm going to assign you to breakout room number 15.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Joanne Eckel.
Good morning, Judge. How are you?
Great and better because you changed your name. I appreciate it. It's the small things. All right. I'm going to send you to number 16.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. James Myrick, who do you have?
I have a Daryl Hall. 1030.
Criminal Trial Division or Family Violence?
Criminal Trial Division.
I'll send you to 17.
Thank you.
All right, Judy Wimmert. Okay, everyone just give me one moment. All right, Hug Perez and Charles Blanc.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday.
It's a happy Wednesday, Judge.
Charles Blanc, where are you? Maybe not, because Charles Blanc is not on the Zoom.
He was on there, Judge.
Charles Blanc. What's your client's name?
John Reyes, Your Honor.
Yes, Judge.
There's Charles Blanc. In just one moment. Okay, what is happening with Mr. Reyes?
Robert Maurer is on with us, no?
Oh, no, it's Charles Blanc is here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Attorneys, when he said, well, fine, I'm just going to leave. But
Yes,
no,
ma'am.
I'm on your case. I spotlight the attorneys who are ready to proceed so that I can see them better.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, yes. So what is happening with this case?
Judge, I'm the pro tem on this case. We've conferred. We are close to resolution. However, as Joel told you last setting, he's starting a capital in about 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I believe. So we're going to ask the court to, I guess, if you want to set us for another status in a month or so, but once he's finished with this case, then I think we're going to have a resolution.
Okay, so when do you anticipate being finished with your case? And Mr. Pettis, is it going to go?
Yes, Your Honor. So right now we're set to go in March. And then I guess 2 months after that, we should be done roughly. I would imagine May something.
Okay. So when do you anticipate, because I'm trying to work out the schedule here. So you think you will be finished with the capital
March, April.
when?
Late May, Your Honor. I guess by June, if you give me a setting in June, we'll be good.
Okay. All right, let me have the coordinator come out of this breakout room. Just 1 second. I need a court date in May.
In May?
Yes, late May. All right, Mr. Pettis and Mr. Bonk, we're going to come back on May 19th.
Okay.
And let me just look at the calendar very quickly to make sure. Yes, so May 19th, so that'll be a Thursday.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
All right, you're all excused. Mr. Reyes, you're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Have a great rest of your Wednesday.
You too.
All right, and then Robert Maurer, your client is Victoria Lara.
Yes, I talked to Norma. She sent us tentatively for March the 15th to make sure the dismissal's been processed and everything else from PTD. The contract was submitted this morning. She was already approved, so we're just waiting for entry, I guess.
Okay, so you say March 15th?
March 15th.
All right, if you have nothing else with this, you and your client are excused.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, have a great rest of your day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Judge, is Ed Camara?
All right, just give me one moment, Ed.
Okay.
I just need to find a couple of cases on the docket. Rebecca, do you see Juan Reyes on the docket?
He's on the recall.
All right, thank you. All right, Ed Camara.
Judge, I conferred with the prosecutor and we're still unable to resolve it. We need to reset it for the trial.
All right, just one moment. Have you had a chance to speak with Mr. Muscas?
No, not this morning.
All right. You want to speak with him to see if he still wants a jury trial?
Yeah, let me just have about 1 minute with him if I could get, and then I'll come back.
Yes. So Ed, if you'll go back to breakout room number 4, and Mr. Muscas, if you'll go to breakout room number 4 for me, please.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Laura Lefton, you need to show your video.
Hi. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Hold on. Hi, Judge. Sorry. So I spoke to Norma. My client is not officially, he's accepted into the program, and we're supposed to get him set next week in the 379th to fill out the paperwork and officially start the program. So we talked about recalling it till March 14th in your court just to confirm all of that. But the plan is next week he'll be in the 379th for the mental health pretrial diversion.
Okay, so which reset date did she give you?
March 14th.
All right, let me see if your client is here.
He's in custody.
Ms. Ferguson, can you see where Mr. Gonzalez is, please?
Judge, I'm gonna put something in the chat.
All right, thank you. All right, and Judy Wimmert, who is your, while she's putting that in chat, who is your client?
Arturo Rivera. He should be in custody.
Criminal Trial Division or Family Violence?
That I'm not sure of. It's an egg assault deadly weapon. My best guess would be family.
And you said Arturo Rivera?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it's family violence.
No surprise.
All right, I'm gonna send you to number 18.
Thank you.
And I think Laura Lefton lost her live stream. Ms. Ferguson, what date are we bringing her client back on? If you can put that in the chat box for me. And what date are they having his setting in 379? Because I don't think they're going to accept him based upon what you've placed in the chat.
John Young back from the breakout room when you have a moment.
All right, Jess, one moment. All right, yes, Mr. Young.
Okay, I'm here asking for a bond to be set on an MTR on Brandon Richardson. I've conferred with Joe Ray. He's asking for the bond to be doubled from 7,500 to 15,000. I'm asking you to consider setting a bond at 2,000.
Okay, my question is, why doesn't Brandon Richardson have his video on? That's my question.
And I don't know the answer to that. I called them a few minutes ago and asked them to confirm that he was on the Zoom. He's not terribly technical and he is blind.
Oh, okay. Well, how is he going over paperwork and everything?
He's not going over any paperwork right now. At this point, I'm just asking for a bond to be set for him so I can take him over to the satellite office and bond him out and then get a court date for the MTR.
All right. It appears that he's not able to work Zoom because he keeps turning off his video. So, I mean, as soon as he's ready to go, we'll take up your motion, Mr. Young.
I'll call him up, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Young. Mary Peterzak, you're back.
Yes. Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. Who do you have?
My apologies, Judge. I had Mr. Tommy Coker.
How do you spell the last name?
Coker.
And is it criminal trial division or family violence?
Criminal trial division.
Okay. All right, I will send you to breakout room number 19.
All right, thank you, Judge. And did Mr. Ochoa report this morning?
I haven't gotten word that he is here,
Okay,
but
Thanks,
we're all
Judge.
doing, we can only do our best, right?
that's right.
James
you, Judge.
Oldensdorf, who do you have? You're on mute.
Elena Maldonado, but I probably need to check with the state because I've talked to Ms. Maldonado several times. So I
Is it criminal trial division or family violence?
it's, you know, it sounds like family violence, honestly, even though it says burglary, just from what the facts that I've been discussed with Ms. Maldonado, it sounds like it's a family violence case, burglary to me.
Okay. All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 20.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Judge Ed Kamara is back.
All right, just give me one moment and we will take that up. You left your client in the breakout room, Ed. Can you go back to the breakout room and have him leave to come to the main room?
Sure, I'll go back.
All right, thank you.
And Judge, we don't want to set it for trial now. We want to enter the plea bargain.
All right, thank you.
I'll
Well,
go-
then you don't need to call him from the breakout room.
Okay,
If you'll let the court coordinator know, if you'll send her in the chat box what the agreement is, and we'll go from there.
okay.
And you can go back to that breakout room.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Clarissa Pratt, you have Cody Mayfield.
Yes, Judge, I was made an offer if I could relate to my client.
Okay. If you'll go back to breakout room number 3, and Mr. Mayfield, if you'll go to breakout room number 3, please. Christine McDonald.
Good morning, Judge. I'm here on Rachel Audios. She's here in my office. Do you need to see her?
No, I mean, you're telling me she's there, so I believe that.
Thank you, Judge. So we received an offer from the state judge, but I've asked them to look in to see if there's additional ring surveillance camera footage. If we could just have one more setting, we might be able to resolve this, Judge.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a regular reset on Rachel Arias, please? And who is the prosecutor we're speaking to?
Miss Haven.
All right. All right, Ms. Hayden, is March 16th enough time for you to obtain the other ring videos if they exist?
March 16th?
Yes.
Yeah, that should be plenty of time.
All right, is there anything else other than the ring videos?
For us to look into?
Yes.
I don't believe so, Judge, just to
Yeah, not that I'm aware of. This defendant does have a lot of, she's got a couple at-large cases, I think 6 pending total cases between the at-large and arrest. So it's possible that there's additional stuff out there.
Okay. And the at-large items, do you know what is going to be the status of those? Because the court only has 1 indicted cases. Are there any other indicted cases or no?
There aren't any other indicted ones. There's an at-large felony and an at-large misdemeanor, and then 3 other misdemeanor cases.
All right, so we're gonna call you back on March 16th, and that'll be for discovery. You and your client are excused if you have nothing else with the court.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Melissa Christian.
Judge, with respect to Mr. Juan Hernandez, I do not believe he has appeared today. I did give him notice by email and text message, but I have not heard from him, and I do not see him in the Zoom courtroom.
Okay, let me see.
Your Honor, he is in the courtroom.
He's in the courtroom.
Okie doke.
Yeah. All right, do you need to speak with him?
I will, yes, Judge. And then we also have that issue with Mr. Mario Guerra, whenever the court wants to take that up.
Oh, we can take up Guerra. If there's a family violence prosecutor available.
I think Michael was chatting with me about that, Mr. Villarreal.
Michael Villarreal is in a breakout room at the moment. So if you want to speak, let me see if I can bring Michael in the main room just one moment.
Okay.
Oh, and Mr. Camara, you can go back to your previous breakout room.
Okay, and what's going to happen there?
Oh, if there's some paperwork, the state will send you that paperwork.
Okay, Judge, I have a doctor's appointment in about 45 minutes, so I have to leave at 11:30. Could we reset this for later?
Yes, if you want to, are you able to come back this afternoon or no?
Probably not. I got to do some tests.
Okay, if you want, we can recall this for tomorrow.
Okay, that would be good.
All right, can you have Mr. Muzak come out of the breakout room, please?
Okay, I'll go out to him.
All right, Ms. Ferguson on Muzak, can we recall that for tomorrow for a plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Would that be at 9:30, Judge?
No, that will be at 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. Okay, thank you.
All right, Michael, and I sent the back signal for you to come out of the room. You know, the updated version where you can request people to come back to the main session is great. So sorry to interrupt your negotiations there, but Ms. Christian is ready on Mr. Guerra.
Yes,
and
Your Honor.
before we go on the record, Ms. Christian, I can tell you what my concerns are and state so you'll know what my concerns are as well. I don't know about the nieces and nephews issue. And I don't know if that's supervision. I don't know their ages or anything of that matter. So those are my concerns with the request. So maybe if people can address that, or if you and Mr. Villarreal had a chance to confer and come to an agreement or no.
Actually, Judge, I told Mr. Villarreal that I had submitted this list as the client had submitted it to me, and I just would let the court make its decision based on all the items that are listed. If you'd like Mr. Guerra to address how old the children are and whether there'll be other adults present, he can certainly do that.
Okay, all right. The court we'll just go through it individually.
Okay.
The court is going to call 2021 CR 1198, State of Texas versus Mario Guerra. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Michael Villarreal for the state.
For the defense?
Melissa Christian.
And are you Mario Guerra?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No, ma'am.
No objection from the state.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Judge, thank you.
Mr. Guerra, do you have any objections?
No, ma'am, I don't.
All right, the court is in receipt of a request for permission for the defendant to travel to attend a family funeral. State, have you had a chance to review that motion, or are you ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor, and I am ready to proceed.
All right, so there's a list of items in this motion, and I think it would be economical if we just go over each request that's in the motion. And state, you can let the court know if you have any objections to it. So if on the attachment to the document, Friday, February 11th, after 5 p.m. or if time permitted, he said he's helping his family move the nieces out of their old house. And so I'm assuming that the person who has passed is their mother. Is that correct?
That's correct, Judge.
So he wants to help the nieces move out. And Mr. Guerra, if I could have you raise your right hand for me, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. Mr. Guerra, I just have a few questions to ask you for clarification of what you're requesting.
Yes, ma'am.
How old are your nieces?
So Catalina is 5 years old. Excuse me, Penelope is 5 years old. Catalina is 8 years old. Maribel is 13, going to be 14. next week. And Brandon is 18 years old.
All right. So what family is helping move the nieces out?
So my sister, Christine Guerra, whom is 35 years old, has been awarded by the state custody of the children through the CVC, as well as the information that was provided by the detectives. She lives in a 3-bedroom.
My question is, who's going to be helping the children move?
Oh, it would be myself, my sister Christine, and Brandon. My parents at this current time have been completely distraught, and because of the ADA that my parents are in, they haven't been really able to help out. So we have family that's coming in from out of town, but because we had to move the funeral.
So any other questions from the defense or state on this issue?
Not from the state.
None from the defense, Judge.
All right, state, do you have any objection to him helping them move? It appears that the only person who's available to help move is himself and the sister.
Your Honor, I don't have an objection to the ability for him, but I just ask that the time and the location be restricted so that we know where he's supposed to be and when he's supposed to be. I understand that moving is a fluid process, but if we can have a time where he is able to leave his residence and a time that he must return to his residence, and the only places that he's allowed to stop, just so that we are able to ensure as best as we can that he has no unsupervised contact with children.
All right, so Mr. Guerra, what time?
So for Friday, it would be after 5 o'clock. The address would be the address on.
No, I have the address in the, and I don't want the address put it on the YouTube. I have the address in here, and I believe that the defense, I know the defense has the address and the state has the address. So what time are you leaving your house to go to the location?
After 5:30.
So you're saying 5:30 p.m.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we're gonna say 5:30 p.m. And how long?
We don't want to keep the children up too late, so I'd probably be back around 10:30.
State, do you have any objection from 5:30 to 10:30 p.m.?
No, Your Honor, just as long as it's just between those two addresses.
All right. And I'm going to add that the state is in agreement with that, 5:30 to 10:30 p.m. plus no unsupervised contact. I realize when people are moving, everybody's running around. So no unsupervised contact with minors, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then we have on Saturday, February 12th, they're still, they're moving some items to a different location. Any objections to that, Mr. Villarreal?
No, just kind of the same. We're asking for the same type of requirements about times. It alleges a storage unit, and there's no address associated with the storage unit. And so that's the kind of only clarification as far as locations. And then obviously we need a time.
Okay, what location are you going to? Are you still picking up the items from the new home or from the old home?
From the old home, and moving them to the new home. And then with the new home, removing the furniture and.
No, this is my question. So are the stops that you're making on February 12th, is that to the old home, the new home, and this location?
It's from the old home to the new home, as well as the storage location.
All right. So I'm going to put those locations in the motion if there's no objections.
There's no objection from us, Judge. Defense.
Not from the state.
All right, and what's the time?
8 a.m.
I'm sorry, what time?
8 a.m.
8 a.m.
to 11 o'clock at night.
State?
No objection for that time.
All right, and again, there's to be no unsupervised contacts with minors.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, next is February 13th. It says moving household items and getting the kids dress clothes. On that one, Mr. Villarreal, my understanding, because I've done the funeral arrangements before, sometimes you go to one place, you can't find anything there, and you go to another place. I don't know if the state and the defense will agree on just a specific time frame to get that done. And that's his time frame, or you want specific locations?
Honestly, Your Honor, I don't think we can agree to him going to stores. There's other adults that can do that within the home. I understand that he's needed for moving, but there's other adults that can accomplish the shopping if there needs to be shopping for dress clothes.
All right, so Mr. Guerra, if there's continued moving that needs to be done, the court will allow you to do that. As far as clothing for children, the court is not going to allow you to do that, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And what are the addresses for the continuation of moving of household items? Is that the same, the old location into the new location?
As well as the 519 Sanisa.
Okay. What's the time frame?
8 in the morning till 6 p.m.
Any objections to those time frames?
Not from the state, Your Honor.
And again, there's to be no unsupervised contacts with minors.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then on February 17th, we have visitation from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. and the rosary is at 7 p.m. So what times are you requesting, Mr. Guerra?
For the rosary, I would have to actually be on location at 3:30.
All right, so that'll be 3 p.m. to when?
I'm thinking, if possible, I'm sorry, this is kind of hard. Possibly 10 p.m. that
All
day.
right, state.
I have no objection to that time frame, Your Honor.
All right, so that'll be from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. All right, and then on February 18th, you're a pallbearer. And I see that the funeral home departs at 9 a.m. So I'm sure you need to be there well before then.
Yes, ma'am.
Although Brenna, if it's like the funerals in my family, people always want to show up late. And you know what? Are we off the record, Brenna? And then they get the shock because I'm in charge. I'm like, guess we're gonna go without them. And then they're like, where's everybody? They're at the gravesite. What? I mean, it's like, yeah, you missed it. All right, we can go back on the record. All right. So 8 a.m. That seems like a time, or what time do you want to get there before 9? Because I know they have to line everybody up. And my experience with funerals, people want to chat, and then funerals become family reunions. So he says he had to be at funeral home at 9 a.m. to starting. He's the pallbearer. But is 8 a.m.?
If I could leave here at 7:30 a.m.
Okay. State, are you okay with 7:30 a.m.?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And then what time to come back?
After the luncheon, I know my family wanted to get together at my parents' house. So if 8:30 is okay for the grieving.
All right, Mr. Villarreal?
So yeah, that would just be the, if I'm,
Basically for the day,
okay, and just limited to those locations, correct?
the church, and then where are you all meeting?
We're
Brenna,
going
I'm a
from-
Baptist, so everybody wants to come back to the main house. They bring tons of food and you just want to be left alone, but people want to stay.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
then they disappear when you really need that. But
We're going from the funeral home to the church, and from the church to the burial. And then to follow that, right now we have a whole restaurant reserved.
all right, so let's do this. I'm going to give you the time on February 18th, but you need to provide to the GPS persons the specific locations. And again, there's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. Is everyone in agreement with that, State
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, what time, Mr. Guerra? 7:30 a.m. to,
10 p.m.
all right, State, are you okay with that?
Yes, so long as he confirms it with GPS.
Okay. And he's included that in there. All right. Then on Saturday, February 19th, they're supposed to be working with Child Protective Services for his sister to obtain full custody. And they need to obtain the legal documents for the nieces, their birth certificates, social security cards, tax information. And he says he does the taxes for the family. And then they have to contact Crime Victim Seth to get assistance with the funeral costs and reimbursement from Crime Victims Fund. Usually, if this is the result of a criminal case, isn't the advocate supposed to be coordinating that?
So with my time with the AG's office, that can be done directly over the phone. The CBC is located in Austin, so all of those would be telephone calls.
Okay.
So from what he's stating that he needs the purposes, the state would object to any of these times, just based on the fact that it doesn't necessitate him to be there. He's not going to be the custodial parent, and so he wouldn't need to be present to get tax documents, birth certificates, all of those things.
All right.
Would be there.
Defense.
Judge, actually, on the advice of counsel, I'm going to suggest that Mr. Guerra withdraw his request for the participation on February 19th.
All right, then that will be denied. All right, and then on February 20th, he states that they're having a memorial luncheon for his sister and that they have family coming all over from the United States, and that's the last day for them to spend time with everybody before they go back home.
Again, Your Honor, there's no location or times listed. I'm not trying to be punitive.
Oh, no, I understand. So Mr. Guerra, what time?
8:30 in the morning to, it's a Sunday, 10 p.m.
Are you going to start a lunch at 8:30?
Excuse me?
Are you all starting lunch at 8:30?
No, ma'am. I'm actually helping out with the tamales.
Ah.
And
Brenda, I
so-
had my first tamale like last year, so I understand that's very labor intensive and they're very good.
Yes, and typically in a Hispanic heritage or Mexican heritage, the women do it, but in this particular case, the men do the tamales and the menudo, and the women stay in the day room, just literally gossiping.
What? It's not gossiping if it's fact.
Just
Never
so
happened
so
at
that
all.
they
Or
get-
if everybody is saying it, it isn't gossip if everybody's saying it.
No, it's not. So, so is this taking taking place at a home?
Yes, ma'am. Between the two addresses of the Alexander Hamilton address and the Sanisa address. They're both within 1 mile from each other.
But Sanisa, isn't that the storage?
No, Sanisa is the
parent's address.
Parent's address.
Okay.
Just to be clear, Judge, based on your inquiry, there is no address for the storage facility.
Okay. So, so Alexander Hamilton and where else?
The Sanisa address.
All right, so what times?
That would be between the 7:30 to 10 o'clock.
All right, so the court is fine with the 7:30 a.m. Mr. Villarreal, do you have an objection to the 10 o'clock?
Yeah, I mean, he's on GPS home arrest for a reason, Your Honor. And so I think the court and the state understand that it's unfortunate circumstance, but 10 o'clock at night for several nights in a row, based on the offense and the facts, we're going to ask that it be limited. He stated for a luncheon, and so I think it'd be fair to give him until 2:30, even 3. But we're talking about late evenings again.
All right, somebody help me. How long does it take to fix tamales if you're starting at 7:30 a.m.? I thought people usually start the night before. I've never made tamales, so I don't know who's the expert on tamales. Mr. Guerra, how long does it take?
Typically about 3 to 4 hours. And that depends if you have a line that's working together.
That's correct, Judge.
Thank you. That's Rebecca Reyes. Thank you. I
No,
don't know how to make tamales. I just eat them.
it takes 30 minutes to drive there, and if there's not a line, it takes 30 more
No,
minutes.
sir.
I'm with Jim. I'm totally with Jim.
Not
All
in
right,
my family, apparently.
So this is what I'm going to do. 7:30 to 7:30 a.m. I'll give you 7:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. So, I mean, that's beyond the lunchtime. And again, there's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. All right, is there anything else with regards to this motion?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
Nothing further from the defense, Your Honor.
All right, and when is the next court date on this case? Do we have a next setting?
I think we do, Judge.
April 5th. Ms. Ferguson, is that still going to be our jury trial date, or because we received new dates for jury trials?
We don't have any future dates up till then, Judge. Yet.
All right, so we'll keep it on that date. All right, Mr. Garrett, if there's nothing else, then you are excused.
And Judge, may I be placed, I guess, in the courtroom or whatever you can do with me so I can confer with Mr. Juan Hernandez, who apparently is in person.
All right, I'll send you to number 1.
Thank you, Judge.
And courtroom, if you could go to number 1. And everyone else, thank you so much for your patience.
And Judge Jim Oldersdorf, I had to leave suddenly to go to a county court. Now I'm back. I was in a breakout room. I didn't get to confer.
All right, just one moment.
Sure.
Bye. All right, you too. Thank you. All right, who's your client's name, please?
My client would be Miss Elena Maldonado, and I'm pretty sure it's family violence. It from what I've looked at, even though it says burglary.
I'll send you to number 3.
Yeah.
John Young, I
Clarissa,
believe Mr. Richardson is on video now, Your Honor.
Just one second. Clarissa Pratt.
Yes, Judge, I've conferred with the state. They've made an offer. I've related to my client. I had subpoenaed some records from probation, and they're hundreds of pages. So if I could get 2 weeks to review all those documents and then come back with an answer.
Yes. Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 2-week reset in the in the chat box, please? All right, we're going to come back on March 2nd.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, if you have nothing else, you are excused.
Thank you.
Norma, you can let them know that Mayfield can go back. He's in CP2. And everyone, just give me a moment. I see you all already. I'm working my way through the docket as quickly as possible. All right, Victoria Cruz.
Good morning, Your Honor. Ray has conferred with Brittany on Martin Lopez. He is logged on.
Yes.
And we are on the brink of an agreement, but Brittany wants to reach out to some witnesses. So state wants to do some double checking before we seal the deal.
All right, what is your client's name?
Martin Lopez.
All right, let me see where Mr. Lopez is. There he is. And did they give you an idea?
I'm not sure. I'm sure she would ask for at least 2 weeks. She needs to make contact.
All right, Ms. Ferguson or Martin Lopez, and does he only have one case with us? Ms. Cruz, does he only have one case with us?
I think so, Your Honor. Yes, I only see one on my docket sheet.
All right, Ms. Ferguson or Martin Lopez, can I have a date in late February, please?
That should work.
All right, we're going to come back on February 28th, and you said that the state was looking into some things?
Yes, Your Honor. State needs to make contact with some witnesses.
All right. If there's nothing else, you are excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, and Mr. Lopez is excused as well.
And for the record, tamales.
Are they labor intensive?
I've done them like 3 times. I'm not gonna do it anymore. But the spoon and it has to be a nice thin layer, and if you put too much on it, they come out cakey, and it's there's a lot to it. But anyway, let's just stick to you now. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, have a good one. All right, Robert Featherston on the Dallas.
Yes, Judge, I've conferred with Mr. Sanders. We've agreed to a $2,500 bond if the court will allow it. He was taken off his original bond for failure to maintain contact with the bonding agency. This is an affirmative links drug case, Judge, and my client is just professing his innocence on the case, so we're going to have to try it.
Well, just one moment. Did you file a motion?
No, Your Honor, we just came to this arrangement.
All right, then you'll need to send an agreed order. If you send it to email to the court, then I will sign it. And have you received all the discovery?
I have, Your Honor. Judge, do you want me to email that agreed order to Norma?
I'll put my email address in the chat box, but if you'll, because that'll make it get to me faster. And if you will include the state in that agreed order.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Miss. So you received all of the discovery. Has an offer been tendered?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you ready for jury trial on this case?
I am.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you give me a jury trial date on Mr. Roy Vidalis, please?
One second, Judge.
Judge, Mary Peterzak, Mayor Perch.
All right, just give me a moment.
Yes, Judge.
All right, so we're going to come back for your jury trial on March 4th.
March 4th. Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, Brenda, let's place this on the record very quickly, please. I say very quickly, but I'm going to talk slowly. Court is calling 2021 CR 5893, State of Texas versus Roy Vidalis for the defense.
Robert Featherston representing Mr. Vidalis, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Vidalis, could you unmute for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you Mr. Vidalis?
Yes, Your Honor.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection, defense?
No, ma'am.
Defense, do you have any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Vidalis, do you have any objections?
No, Your Honor.
All right, in this case, Mr. Featherston, have you received all the discovery?
I have, Your Honor.
Was an offer tendered?
Yes.
All right. And Mr. Vidalis, are you rejecting that offer?
No, ma'am.
I'm sorry?
No, Your Honor.
All right, let me say it this way. You're aware that the state has made an offer to you. Are you aware of that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, do you want a jury trial or do you want to accept the offer?
I would like to do the jury trial, Your Honor.
Okay. So your jury trial date is going to be March 4th. You'll need to be dressed for trial. If you're still in custody, you'll be brought over dressed for trial in whatever clothes you were arrested in. If you would like your clothing exchange, contact your defense attorney, Mr. Featherston. If there are issues with the clothing exchange, let the court know and we'll see if it can be expedited. However, if you're on bond, you'll need to report to the 187 District Court on March 4th for jury trial, and you need to be dressed for trial. The court is located at 300 De La Rosa, the 4th floor. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
When is your jury trial date?
March 4th.
What time?
I'm sorry.
9 a.m.
9 a.m. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
And
March
which
4th,
court?
9 a.m. 187, fourth floor.
All right, awesome. Thank you. If there's
Thank
nothing
you.
else, then we'll close the record. Mr. Featherston, you're excused. Norma, can you let them know 16B can go back?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Luis Martinez. You're on mute.
Hello, Judge.
Hello. What is happening with your client?
I'm here on Mr. Medin's case. We have a deal worked out, Judge. It's going to require that he plead to the misdemeanor, so we're hoping to get this reset for 2 weeks for a plea, but we've got the whole thing worked out.
All right, who's in the misdemeanor court? Which court is it?
It's court 9.
Who's the judge for 9?
Judge Saldana.
All right, have you called over there to see when they can do the plea?
I have not, Judge, but
You
I'm
want me
sure
to
we can
see-
get that.
You want me to see if they can do it today?
I have another plea I'm doing in there. So if we could just get a short reset on this, Judge, we'll get it knocked out.
But we don't know when
No.
we're
I don't-
getting it there. So if someone can call Judge Saldana's court and see if when they're available to do it so that I can set this at a time when they're able to do their misdemeanor plea.
Sure.
I
I'll be
don't
happy
want
to
to
do that, Judge.
reset this and have us no time available. So if you can get that date for me, then I'll give you a date for Mr. Medina.
Yes, Judge, I'll call over there right now.
All right, thank you. John Young, you have Brandon Richardson.
Your Honor, he is on the screen. I've convinced him not to keep going to this orange square with his B in it.
Okay. So what is happening on Mr. Richardson's case?
He has an MTR, Your Honor, that was filed in October. He found out about it recently. He is on deferred adjudication from July. He has technical violations, I think largely because of his vision disability. And I would ask for a $2,000 bond. I conferred with Joe Ray, and he is asking for a doubling of the $7,500 bond that he was on previously, or $15,000. I believe we'll be able to get this sorted out pretty quickly once we we get this warrant lifted so he can deal with us.
All right, let me see. Joe Ray is here.
Yes, Judge.
We'll go on the record.
Yes.
Court is calling 2020 CR 7580, State of Texas versus Brandon Richardson. We're going to have parties announced for the record for the state,
Joe Ray Garcia.
for the defense.
John Young?
And are you Mr. Richardson?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No,
No,
ma'am.
Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
Oh, Your Honor.
Mr. Richardson, any objection?
No, ma'am.
All right, we are here on a motion to set bond, which Mr. Richardson is entitled to a bond. He's on deferred adjudication. Defense, have you had a chance to review the defense's motion?
The state has, Your Honor.
Are you ready to proceed?
What did you say, Your Honor?
I am asking if the state has had a chance to review the motion.
The state
All
has.
right. All right, and state, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, defense, it's your motion.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Richardson has 4 violations. They're non-reporting and not providing probation with information about his either employment or SSI disability. I know from history that he is on SSI. I don't know why he hasn't been able to get that to them or why he didn't report. First, I'd like to try and get the bond started out because we just found out recently that there was an MTR outstanding. And what I want to try and do is walk him through the satellite office with his disability. I think it would be an unreasonable strain for him to go to the jail and have to be there for the 18 to 48 hours it takes to go through there. That's why I need a bond set before he's in custody so I can walk him through.
All right, Mr. Young, if I could see you in breakout room number 1, and Mr. Garcia, if I can see you in breakout room number 1, please. Everyone, just give me a moment, please. Put some patience in your pocket. We're going to take care of you. Mary Peterzak?
Yes, Judge.
Yes. On your client?
Yes, Judge, on Mr. Coker.
Yes.
It looks like there's still some body cams that we need before they're going to make an offer on this case. I think this is our first setting now.
All right, and is Mr. Coker in custody or on bond?
Bond, Judge.
All right, because I don't see him. To the court, is there Tommy Coker in the courtroom?
No, Judge, he's not.
we don't know where your client is, Ms. Peterzak, but we'll come back I'll give him till 2 o'clock.
Excellent, Judge. Okay, I'll work on trying to get him logged on. Is it the same Zoom ID?
Yes, yes.
Okay, perfect, Judge. Thank you, and may I be excused?
Ooh, just 1 second. Oh, my understanding, he's here. He's under a different name.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. I got 1 out of 2. That's not bad.
No, that's not. All right, so this is your client. He couldn't change his name, screen name.
Okay,
Are
excellent.
you Tommy Coker? Is this your client, Ms. Peterzak?
I haven't seen him in person, Judge.
If you're Tommy Coker, you need to raise your hand.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So on this case, you said the state needs body cam?
Yes, Judge. So they just needed body cam and they wanted an opportunity to review some things before they made an offer.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on Mr. Coker for discovery? All right, we're going to come back on. No, I haven't gotten it yet. Just 1 second. March 16th.
Excellent, Judge.
Thank you. You and your client are excused.
Thank you, Judge. And y'all have a wonderful Wednesday.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right, Melissa Christian.
Judge, yes, good morning on Juan Hernandez. He is in the courtroom, so he is present and he is still here. We are asking for a reset after conferring with Michelle Hayden. There is another case that is coming down and we just need a reset for time for that case to drop and for me to get discovery.
All right. Norma, can we place this on the 16th as well? And if Juan Hernandez can come forward, please.
Just front and center, just look forward. Right there, go for the back.
All right, Mr. Hernandez, we're going to bring you back on March 16th for discovery so that your attorney can have the discovery from the state. You can appear by Zoom or in person.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. They're going to give you a reset form and then you're excused.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes. Have a great rest of your day. Jesse Sanchez, who do you have?
Yes, Judge, Amanda Aranda, 2022-07.
Criminal trial division or family violence?
Trial division, first setting. If I can confer, Your Honor.
I'll send you to breakout room number 4.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
All right, Edward Schroeder.
Yes, Your Honor. Well, I
Yes,
confer
what is
with,
happening with Mr. Somerset?
well, I confer with Mr. Sanders, and he agreed upon a $25,000 bond.
All right, and what is happening with the case?
He has yet to interview the main victim. He's been
Okay.
unable to get a hold of him.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Somerset, can I have a 30-day reset, please? All right, we're going to come back on March 15th. And if you have an agreement with the state on a bond, you'll need to send an agreed order to the court. I will place my email in the chat box for you and include the state in that email, please.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Norma Somerset can go back. He's 14 in. And everyone, just 1 second. All right, Jesse Sepulveda.
Yes, Your Honor. We have an agreement. We just need the paperwork.
All right, thank you. Marco Bass, who do you have?
I have two, Judge, Jesse Salinas and Tristan Rodriguez.
Salinas Criminal Trial Division or Family Violence?
Criminal trial, both of them.
And then who's the other person?
Tristan Rodriguez.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 5. And attorneys, if your screen is not on, I cannot call you because I don't see your screen. And everyone, just give me a moment while I sign paperwork. All right, Michael Bellevue.
Yes, Judge, I have talked to Marcus. He did make an offer today. I would just request a couple of weeks, talk to my client and his family about the offers, because there are 2 different offers and one does include time.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Mr. Saddia. If you can place this at the end of February, please. All right, we're going to put it on the 28th.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. You and your client are excused.
All right, thank you.
All right, Ms. Sosa.
Judge Jesse Garza, currently at the jail. I conferred with Mr. Sanders. My client is pending on a family violence MTR and he has an unindicted aggravated assault. Mr. Sanders has asked the court for a reset so that they can look at the aggravated assault case.
All right, did he give you a time frame on that?
He did not, Your Honor.
Judge, just a couple weeks should work.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you recall this to the end of February, please? All right, we're going to come back on February 28th.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
I be excused?
Yes. And Norma, can you let them know 14-0 can go back, Garza? All right, any other defense attorney ready?
Judge, this is Luis Martinez.
Yes.
Judge, on Mr. Medellin, I talked to court 9. They're going to try and have us plead this case tomorrow.
Okay. All right, Norma, on Medellin, can we set it on the docket for tomorrow? But Mr. Martinez, I know that you'll be in County Court 9 before you come here.
Mhm.
All right, so we'll recall it for tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Are we excused, Judge?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Israel, you're good to go. I'll call you.
Okay.
All right, anyone else ready?
Yes, Your Honor. Attorney Bustamante for Mr. Rocha.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, who is the prosecutor on this?
I believe Michael Villarreal.
All right, just give me a moment. As soon as he's ready, we'll take it up.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Your Honor, James Merritt, attorney for Ready to Approach.
All right, you need to show your video.
Okay, sure. Good morning, I'm here.
Yes.
Okay, I'm in my car, but I'm not driving. I just parked. Will Mr.
Who's your client?
Hall, Daryl Hall.
Yes.
Hall. He should have checked in. He
He's
was
here.
Great. So I've conferred with the trial division, and the PTD office received the PTD contract just yesterday, and trial division advised that this matter be reset for 30 days for the awaiting the pretrial services orientation. And once he gets on board with orientation, then they'll submit what paperwork needs to be submitted according to the contract. So we ask for a 30-day reset.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a PT update date for Mr. Hall. And do you see where the paperwork has been done? All right, she's just giving me the answer in the chat box. So we'll see you back on March 18th.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. You and your client are excused.
Thank you.
All right, any of the, Michael Villarreal? Michael Villarreal. All right, this is on Mr. Rocha. And if Mr. Rocha can come up. This is the case where Mr. Rocha will not do his drug test when asked of him. He waits and does it on his own time. And so the court was going to make a ruling. The defendant had already entered a plea, and we had been waiting forever for the results.
Judge, I can stand in.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, court is calling 2019 CR 13340, State of Texas versus Fabian Rocha. If I can have parties announced for the record for the state.
Michelle Hayden for the state.
For the defense.
Arely Bustamante.
And are you Mr. Rocha?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Rocha, t-shirts are not appropriate attire for the court. And I've seen you wear things other than t-shirts. So why are you in court today in a t-shirt?
I apologize. This is what I've been wearing for the last court dates.
No, I know you have more than a t-shirt because I've seen you on Zoom in more than a t-shirt. So why did you choose to come to court wearing a t-shirt as though that's proper attire for court?
I'm not too sure.
All right, we're proceeding by video. Any objections from the state? And the court will note for the record that the defense counsel and the defendant are in the courtroom. We are here from November 15th. The defendant was supposed to provide a UA on November 15th. He didn't. He went there, and I think he told them that he had COVID, so they wouldn't let him in. And he did not bring the court any proof of any positive COVID tests. So then it was recalled back and recalled back and recalled back, and the defendant would never go do a UA. So we went from November to February, and he finally did a UA. And shocker, he's clean. So this is what the court is going to do. Rebecca, I want him on the UA hotline. And he's going to do intensive outpatient treatment with probation. And if he misses any of those UA hotlines, I want a motion to revoke filed.
Judge, I believe he already has an active MTR.
He only had this one. Did he have the MTR because he didn't report to do his UA?
I believe.
That's our understanding.
I'm sorry, what, Ms. Bustamante?
Yes, Your Honor, that's our understanding. That's my understanding.
All right, State, do you want to proceed with that motion, or you want to withdraw the motion and alter and amend conditions to include the court's orders?
Judge, he has he has several new number ones. There's a first amended, there's a number 2, which is original, but he has an amended, which contains 2 number ones, a 6C and a 7.
All right, then, just one moment. Everyone, just give me a moment and let me see what we have here. Because the court heard a motion on the defendant, and that motion was heard on November 15th, 2021. So are these allegations different allegations than what the court heard on that day?
Yes, Your Honor, they're offenses that are alleged to occur after that date.
Okay. So Ms. Bustamante, are you aware of the motion to revoke that has been filed?
No, Your Honor, I'm only aware of the one that was filed about 3 days after the last MTR hearing.
All right, and is he currently on bond for the new motion? Does anyone know?
I believe so. I can check right now, Your Honor.
Oh, no problem. To the clerks, if you can look to see if he's on a motion, if he has a bond on the new motions to revoke. One, just a moment.
Hey, Michael, can I get back with you again? Since
I'll be right back in the room with you, Jim.
okay, I just thought I'd mention I'm through talking to, okay. Do I go to a room?
Okay. All right, the clerks are telling me that he did post bond, but that bond was posted from out of county. And for some reason, the bond has been posted, but whatever is happening out of county has not made it to the Bexar County system. So he does have a bond. He did make bond.
Yes, Your Honor, I did speak with the out of county. They still have not processed the 2 misdemeanors. It's still not even in the attorney's office in the out of county.
Okay. So then what we need is Ms. Bustamante is saying she was not aware of these new motions to revoke. So we need a setting. And we're going to reset this then for 2 weeks, Ms. Bustamante, and you and your client will need to appear in court in 2 weeks. State, if this is going to be a contested motion, will you all be ready to proceed in 2 weeks?
If I could talk to Ms. Bustamante today, I haven't specifically been able to confer with her about the MTR.
All right, I'll send you, Ms. Bustamante, if you'll go to breakout room number 1, please.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, thank you. John Young, Mr. Richardson.
Yes, Your Honor, we've reached an agreement. I believe that Mr. Richardson is going to be pleading true to missing 2 months of probation. We're going to continue him on probation or
Okay,
recommend
then,
that.
then just one second. Have you received the paperwork from the court coordinator?
I have not, Your Honor. I don't know whether she sent it and I'm just at the wrong computer.
Okay, if you can, I'll send you to a breakout room because there's paperwork that you and your client need to fill out. I'll send you to breakout room number 2. And Mr. Richardson, if you'll go to 2, please.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Joanne Eckel.
Judge, we've worked out a plea agreement. So I guess I just need some paperwork from whoever prepares it. I have some from Michelle. I'm not sure if Norma does the rest.
Yes, if you'll put in the chat box to Ms. Ferguson what the agreement is.
All right. Thank you, Judge. I will.
Thank you. Okay, I don't see Ed Camara anywhere in the breakout room on Musquez.
Didn't he have a doctor's appointment?
Brenda, you are so right. See, I'm telling you, it is too hot in this room. And see, when I don't write things on the docket sheet, I'm like, it hasn't been written down, so it didn't happen. And Norma, could you check on Mr. Richard Garcia, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Amanda Aranda. Are you okay?
I'll be fine.
Okay.
Hard day.
All right. Hello, Mr. Garcia.
Hi, Judge. I apologize for coming in so late. It's just been one of those days. Horrible.
But you know what? But it's Wednesday, so that's the middle of the week, so it's great.
As long as I don't have to give up any apple pies or pecan pies, I'll be fine.
I know that's directed at me. And you know what? That's going to make me put it out there. Have you received your postcard back from Antarctica?
You know, I never did, and I moved, and I don't think they forward that kind of mail.
Oh.
But Teresa received hers, and so when I go to her house, I stare at it.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 6.
And I never told you this story real quick. So when we went to the Ukrainian post in Antarctica, and they distill vodka.
What?
And so while I was writing the postcards, like to your mom, I was given 3 shots of vodka for free. So then, needless to say, I had a little bit too much. And when I got back in the dinghy to go to the ship, I had my cell phone in my back pocket, and I had only taken it because I had the addresses for the postcards, and it popped out of my back pocket into the ocean, freezing cold water. And so I lost my $1,400 iPhone. And then the Ukrainians are so crazy, they go swimming with the penguins and they found my phone. And they returned it to me, but it was dead.
But at least, you know what, you should take that phone and frame it, because there's some memories in there.
I returned it to get another phone, but it was the most expensive postcards I've ever sent in my entire life.
Well, I'm going to tell my mom, hey, Mom, that's a $1,400 postcard.
Yeah. But anyways, I'm going to go to 6.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Jesse Sanchez.
Yes, Judge. I need to see we get a reset because we're going to apply for PTD.
All right. And your client was on here, but she appeared to be in some distress.
Okay.
So there are some issues. Okay. So
Yeah,
Ms. Ferguson on Amanda Aranda, they're going to do a PTD. Can I have a setting date for them to come back on an update? All right, March 18th. And you may want to speak with our client or call her, because I didn't want to ask her any questions, but she was fine.
Right, Judge. Yeah, if she can be excused, and I'll call her because it takes a long time to communicate with her.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
So do you want to talk Miss Amanda Aranda?
I'll call her, Judge.
Okay.
It'd be
all right.
easier. Okay. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, everyone, just give me a moment. I just have some paperwork to sign. And Brenda, we'll stop at 1 if that's okay with you.
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you. I know we started late today.
Your Honor, John Young back from breakout room.
Okay, just give me a moment. All right, John.
Nobody had sent me, I'm assuming, the video conferencing permission.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, were you able to send to Mr. Young the video conference?
Did he chat me to his client's email address, Judge?
I had not sent it to you, but I do have it.
Okay, she'll need to get that from you, John.
All right.
If you
Can
can just
she
chat
join us in the breakout room and I'll give that to her?
Well, you have to chat it to her while you're in the main room before you go to the breakout room. Otherwise, she won't receive it.
Do you have any idea how difficult it is for me to do this?
I know.
Chat there.
All right, Jesse Sepulveda, are you ready on Mr. Alanis?
Ready, Your Honor.
All right, and where is Mr. Alanis? Oh, he's being sworn in.
He is being sworn in, yes.
Okay. Thank you. And this one is done. And I'm working on these. All right, are the parties ready on Alanis?
Defense is ready, Your Honor.
Who's the prosecutor on Alanis?
It was Ryan Groomer.
Is there a prosecutor available?
I'm available, Judge. I can jump in if.
All right, thank you. Court is calling 2022 CR 0795, State of Texas versus Jesse James Alanis. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Joe Ray Garcia.
For the defense?
Jesse Sepulveda.
And are you Mr. Alanis?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Alanis, I'm showing you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Alanis, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, did you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do.
State, it appears that you're proceeding on count one only. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did, why?
Any objection to waiver of count two? Any objection to? Mr. Alanis, I'm going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand in count one, you're charged with theft of a vehicle, 2,500 to 30,000, that's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent? I didn't hear your answer.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, he has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, he does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I believe he was.
Mr. Alanis, has anyone threatened you, forced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Review that page with your attorney, and did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on count one. There's to be a $1,500 fine, probated. State recommends deferred adjudication. There's to be restitution of $900 to Robert Frank and Katz 1 and 2. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that document? Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. State is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 3 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 120 hours of community service restitution, and no contact with Robert Frank or Lorraine Fuentes. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state, and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged in count one, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence to support the defendant's plea.
State offers State's Exhibit 1 and its attachments.
Any objections?
No objections.
Mr. Alanis, I'm showing you what's entitled Waiving Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. Can I see the state and defense in a breakout room? Who was the prosecutor who did this report? Who did the plea?
I believe it was Ryan, Judge.
It was.
Okay. Let me see if I can move him to number 7.
Judge, are we off the record?
No, we're not. We're going to go to room number 7. Is someone, if we could go to number 7, Mr. Sepulveda?
Norma, can you send Brandon Richardson and I to room number 2?
Yes, sir.
I've signed the document and I just need to go over it with him.
Jim, can you please check your chat?
Can I go to a breakout room with you for a minute? Because I don't know how to, oh, here we go.
All right, we're going to go back on the record in 2022 CR 0795. For the state, we have Ryan Groomer.
Yes, Judge, I'll sub in for the rest of the plea. Ryan Groomer for the state of Texas.
And are there any motions from the state?
We do, Judge. In conversing with defense counsel for Mr. Alanis, the state would make a motion to amend the indictment in this case. And the amendment would be to amend instead of it reading the 30th day of October 2021, for it to be changed to the 24th day of October 2021 in count 1 of the indictment.
All right, is there any objections from the defense?
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Alanis, the state has made a substantive change to the indictment. Do you have any objections with going forward?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then to count 1, as amended by the state, how do you plead to that? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
And Mr. Alanis, the previous constitutional rights I've explained to you, they still apply to the amended indictment. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are your answers that you've given the court, would they still be the same? And are they still the same with the amended indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then with regards to count 1, is your plea is still no contest?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Then with regards to amended count 1, the court does find that the evidence is sufficient and the court has accepted into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments without objection. Are we ready to proceed with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, respectfully, we just ask that you follow the agreement, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Alanis, it appears that you were allowed to stay at someone's home and then you took the vehicle. So tell me about yourself. Do you have any children?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
What are their ages?
5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna need you to speak up. What are the ages?
5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Wait, 5 years old, 4 years old, 3 years old, 2 years old, and 1 year old?
Yes, ma'am.
If I quiz you on their dates of birth, would you know that?
No, not the back of my head. I have it written down though.
Okay. He said, Brennan, he says not off the top of his head, but he has it written down. All right, is Child Protective Services involved at all?
No, Your Honor.
Are you paying child support?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, how far did you go in school?
I graduated.
So what are you planning on doing with the rest of your life?
I'm going back to the oil field.
All right, I'm sorry. If you don't feel that there's a medical issue, could you make sure you speak up or either lower your mask a little bit so that we can hear you?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry about that.
All right, so if you can speak up.
Yes, ma'am. I'm going back to the oil field.
Going back where?
To the oil fields.
To the oil fields, okay. Are there any drug issues with you?
No, Your Honor.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. $1,500 fine, probated, 3 years deferred adjudication, restitution of $900 to Robert Frank, Cats 1 and 2, no contact with Robert Frank or Lorraine Fuentes, 120 hours of community service restitution. The court will waive 40 of those hours if you provide proof that you've been vaccinated. That includes the booster. Not forcing you to do it, but if you do it, 40 of those hours will be waived. Parenting classes, you must complete the parenting classes, but if you complete them, the remainder of your community service hours will be waived. Proof of employment within 30 days. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Patch or regular UAs. Since he says he's going to the all fields, it's probably best if you're patched. And there is going to be field visits. 1 time per month, random. Rebecca, is there anything else he needs?
Regular virtual, regular reporting.
Thank you. There's going to be regular Zoom reporting or in person. If you're not able to report in person, by Zoom, you'll need to report in person, okay? All right, Mr. Alanis, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful in this probation?
I just had a question about I have an out-of-county warrant for the failure to appear on child support is for $500, but I was wondering if that would mess anything up with my probation as of now.
Okay, I heard some words, not words.
I have an out of county warrant for child support. It's for $500. I was just curious if it would mess anything up as of now with my probation right now.
Now, what ends up happening when you're on probation, part of your conditions of probation is you are supposed to provide support for your dependents.
Yes, ma'am.
So that $500 you owe occurred before you were on probation.
Yes, right.
And wherever that county is out of, they should pick you up. And since they're asking that you, just one moment, Mr. Garcia, if you will go to breakout room number 7, I'll send Mr. Pope there. All right, back on the record. So since you're being held in custody on a warrant that is related to that child support, they should appoint an attorney to you, and your attorney will discuss that with you, okay? I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Alanis, Brennan, we'll go off the record. They want you to take cats in 1 and 2. That's a theft course. I could give you a theft lesson in 30 seconds, but people don't pay me to do that. But I do it anyway. Here's the thing. Don't take what doesn't belong to you. And if you borrow something from someone, return it when you're supposed to return it. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And take care of your children.
Yes, ma'am.
They're going to need to eat. And guess what? I'm hoping that they do well in life, and I know they will do well. But if every last one of your children want to go to college, you're going to have to pay for that. And Jesse Sepulveda, how much is that? Is that like $100,000 per child? So that's $500,000 right there. So you're going to have to work. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 4. Probation is going to go over your conditions with you, and then you'll be excused. Good luck to you, Mr. Sepulveda. You can go to number 4, either you can be excused.
Thank you.
Thank you. I hope the UT does better this year.
Are you ready for me to go in there, or do you need me to stay out here?
You can go in there because they're going over paperwork with Mr. Richardson.
Okay, thank you.
All right, David McLean.
Good morning, Judge. We have had a very productive, busy morning. I'm representing Ms. Johnson on an MTR, and it looks like, based on the facts, that we've got to probably set this up for a contested hearing.
Okay.
And I also wanted to approach the court about a bond for her. She's on a deferred. Ms. Sparks and I have conferred on this, and we've got an agreed amount of $9,000. I also suggested that it may be beneficial for my client to be providing weekly random urinalysis as a condition of that bond for the court's benefit, and to make sure that she's doing what she's supposed to be doing. And so if there's any other conditions that the court thinks needs to be imposed, by all means, you're the judge, but those are the 2 that we discussed as far as the bond goes.
Okay. Just one moment. Let me sign this motion. Then let me find your motion. Did you file your motion?
I have not filed a motion to set a bond yet, Judge, and I need to do that along with an order.
Well, if you will send to the court the agreed order, and I will ask for random UAs.
Okay.
So I'm going to put my email address in the chat box. If you include the state in that email.
Absolutely, Judge. And Brittany, what is yours? Is it B Sparks or is it Brittany.Sparks or?
Oh, you're placing that live. I don't think they want their email for all the world to know.
Yeah, but just do that to me privately in the chat, maybe.
Yes.
David, it's going to be the same one I emailed you on this morning.
Perfect. There you go. I forgot we did that.
All right, and then Judy Wimmert.
Hi, Judge.
Hi.
On Arturo Rivera.
Yes.
Mr. Rivera has another attorney representing him on 2 other cases out of your court. And Mr. Rivera has requested, I think I have the higher level charges. He's requested that I handle all of his pending matters, and I didn't know how the court handled those type of situations.
All right, so what you'll need to do is contact the other attorney who's on it. I believe it's Kirk Sherman,
Yes, ma'am.
and see if he has any objections to that.
Okay.
And we will reset this. Ms. Ferguson or Rivera, can I have a 30-day reset? Can I send another one back too? All right, we're going to come back on March 17th. Is your client on bond or in custody?
He's in custody, Your Honor.
All right, I'm having difficulty seeing him on the Zoom screen.
I think he's in the breakout room, Judge.
Yes, he is.
Attorneys, when you come to the main room, if you could bring your clients back to this. Ms. Ferguson, can you call the jail and see if they can have Mr. Rivera come back to the main room, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All
I
right,
think
we're
I
gonna
can still get in there.
okay, we're gonna recall it for the 17th.
Your Honor, John Young, back in breakout room. I think we're ready for the MTR on Mr. Richardson.
All right, just give me a moment. All right, Mr. Rodriguez, who are you here for? You're on mute, sir.
Yes, ma'am. I'm here with Marco Bass. I'm here. You just sent me a link and I was sent to the court today.
ATR 4 times.
Mr. Rodriguez, who are you here for?
I'm here for Christian Jacob for now.
I'm
All right, criminal trial division or family violence?
criminal trial.
And let me just see. So on this case, was someone else hired or no? Okay, I don't think there was. I think that was the defendant speaking. All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
All right, Judy Wimmert. On your client, Mr. Rivera,
Yes, ma'am.
we're going to come back on March 17th.
Yeah, that's when I messed up
Okay.
4 times. And they
All right,
finally
and
gave
then
me-
just contact the defense
I mean-
attorney who's on it as well to see if they wish to continue their representation.
Okay, will do, sir.
Thank
I'll
you.
be in touch, Mr. Rivera. Thank you. Everyone have a great day.
All right, you too, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Norma, Mr. Rivera can go back 14A. All right, are the parties ready on Brandon Johnson? Who is the prosecutor?
Joe Ray, Judge.
You said Brandon Johnson. Did you mean Brandon Richardson?
Yes, I'm just making up names as I go. No,
Yes,
but
we're ready.
because what I'm seeing in the box right above him, it says Johnson. So, but everybody's answering to names that are not their own. So it's Wednesday. All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 7580, State of Texas versus Brandon Richardson. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Joe Ray Garcia.
for the defense?
John Young.
And are you Mr. Richardson?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Richardson, did you review a document with your attorney entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. And Mr. Young, off the record, you state that your client was vision impaired. Have you been able to go over all documents with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Richardson, did you review a document with your attorney entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision? And did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Brandon Michael Richardson who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2020 CR 7580 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 grams to 200 grams on July 8, 2021 for a period of 5 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
In Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Brandon Michael Richardson, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of August and September 2021 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State waives the remaining allegations.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Richardson, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 5 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, there is. We ask that the court deny the motion, alter and amend conditions, adding proof of SSI or income within 10 days and weekly reporting for 60 days.
Is that the agreement?
That is, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Richardson, why are you having difficulty getting the information that probation needs?
A lot of times, like I would get it, and then my ride wouldn't show up, whatever. And then also I didn't have a phone for a little bit as well. I was hacked into, and a lot of my accounts were taken over. So a lot of money was also spent that wasn't supposed to be, due to my eyesight. The people who were supposed to be helping me, do what I'm supposed to do.
Here's the thing, Mr. Richardson.
Mm-hmm.
You're on deferred adjudication.
Yes, ma'am.
You're on deferred adjudication for possessing drugs. So you were able to get drugs and possess them with whatever disabilities you have. So this is what you need to do.
Yes, ma'am.
You need to provide that information to probation, and you need to report.
Yes, ma'am.
If you don't do that, a motion to revoke is probably going to end up being filed. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm going to deny the motion, alter and amend conditions. And John, if you could write this down, because I'm going to need you to give it to probation when you go in the breakout room. Let Rebecca Reyes know that he's pled true to violation of condition number 5. The court is denying the motion, alter and amend conditions to include proof of SSI or income within 10 days. There's to be weekly reporting by Zoom or in person for 60 days. And continued random field visits.
And what?
Continued random field visits 2 times per month. All right, Mr. Richardson, good luck to you. I'm going to send you to a breakout room. Probation is going to go over the conditions with you.
Yes,
I'm going to
ma'am.
send you to breakout room number 4. Be patient when you go in there because she's going over conditions with someone else. And John, you can be excused from breakout room number 4 after you've given her that information.
And I just need to confirm one thing. You said continued random field visits. Did you say anything after that? Because I was writing.
2 times per month. Joanne Eckel, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready, Judge.
Thank you for bringing your client out of the breakout room with you.
You're welcome.
All right, the court is going to call 2021 CR 3901, State of Texas versus Juan Martin Valderas. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Michelle Hayden for the state.
For the defense?
Joanne Eckel for the defense.
And are you Mr. Valderas?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Judge.
Mr. Valderas, I'm going to show you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
Yes, yes, I did.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Defense, I'm showing you what's entitled Discovery Acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
I received it, Judge, yes.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Trivial Indictment. Mr. Valderas, did you review that document with your attorney, and did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, I do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Valderas, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with repeated violation of a court order or bond condition, family violence?
Yes, Your Honor.
Third-degree felony. The range of punishment for that offense is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses they would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Valderas, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Very satisfied, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is requesting that your punishment be assessed at 2 years in the prison. There are no applications. The state will take in consideration county court cause numbers 662594, 663848, 649506, and cause number 2021 CR 8881. And there's to be no contact with Carlos Casares, Casares, and Betsua, Betsua, Valderas. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense is at the plea bargain agreement.
It is, Your Honor.
State is at the plea bargain agreement.
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, are there many such motions?
No, Judge.
Then to the offenses charged in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence to support the defendant's plea.
State offers State's Exhibit 1, its attachments and evidence.
Any objection?
No objection, Judge.
Mr. Balderas, I'm showing you what's entitled waiving consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, I just asked the court to follow the plea bargain agreement on behalf of my client, and Judge, he does have 348 days.
All right, the court will follow your agreement, sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. Taking consideration the following county court cause numbers: 662-594, 663-848, 649-506, 2021 CR 8881. And there's to be no contact with Carlos Casares and Bexar Balderas. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you do not understand the definition of a weapon or ammunition, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Balderas, how old are you?
I'm 36 years old.
All right, is your mom still living?
Yes, Your Honor, she is.
All right, so I think she would be very disappointed that brothers and sisters are arguing and fighting each other.
Yes.
So I read.
I'm actually disappointed in myself.
Yeah, I read the police, not only disappointed, I think she'd be heartbroken. I read the police report and it appears that you live next door. It may be best that you not live next door.
Yes,
And if there are anger issues with you, there are plenty of places to get that taken care of. If you don't take care of it, you know what's going to end up happening? You're going to be back at the Bexar County Jail or some other jail and going in and out of prison for the rest of your life, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. And that's not going to happen.
All
Yes,
right.
Your Honor.
Good luck to you, Mr. Balderas.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Norma?
God bless you.
Oh, L16 can go back.
Judge, I send you a chat, Judge.
Judge, may I be excused?
Yes, you're excused.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
Thank you, everyone. The court is taking its 1 o'clock break. I'll see you all back at 2:15.
Judge,
Yes.
is it possible for us to go into a room real quickly with Ms. Bustamante?
Okay, just give me a moment. Brenda, could you hold on for 1 moment, please? Courtroom, if you go to breakout room number 1, please.
Judge, did you say 2:15? I'm sorry.
Yes, 2:15. This on the record briefly, and then after this, we're going to take our break.
Okay, Judge.
All right, we're going to go on the record on 2019 CR 13340, State of Texas versus Fabian Rocha. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Michael Villarreal for the state.
For the defense?
Arely Bustamante.
Again, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
None, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
No.
Mr. Rocha, you have any objections?
No, Your Honor.
All right. The court was asked to appear in the breakout room with both defense and state. And it's the court's understanding that in regards to the new allegations in the motion to revoke, that the defense counsel is a witness. Is that correct, state?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that correct, defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Rocha, of course, you can hire whomever you want to hire as your defense attorney, and the court in no way wants to interfere with the attorney-client relationship. So, Ms. Bustamante, knowing that you have told the court and you told the state that you're going to be a witness to the allegations in the motion to revoke deferred adjudication and enter guilt, do you wish to continue representing Mr. Rocha as his attorney on these motions?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Rocha, do you have any objection? It appears that Mr. Rocha is surprised by this.
Does that mean they're revoking my deferred adjudication?
All right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take a break, everyone. We're going to come back at 2:15. And Ms. Bustamante, if you can talk over with Mr. Rocha everything as it relates to your representation of him, and we'll come back at 2:15.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you so much for your patience. You're always so patient when you come. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.